So I'm going to talk to you about my Lance 1995 here versus my 2375, likes and dislikes of the 1995 versus the 2375. There are definitely advantages and disadvantages to each. Let's first talk about what's missing on this one versus the other one and what I like better. One of the things I like better on that 1995 that I had, and we had the one with the two rear seats, was we had the huge window back here. That huge window was great for when you backed into a spot, you could look out and you had great views when we went boondocking and we went to certain RV parks. We had beautiful sunsets on the Gulf Coast and really missed that part of it, but not so much that we kept the 2375. The other thing I missed in the 2375, and I think now with the 1995 you can get the big square bumper here. This one has this smaller bumper that you can see right here. Now you can get that big square bumper on the 2375, so missed that one a little bit. The other thing I liked that we had on the 1990, or that we had on the 2375 that we don't have on this one, there are two things. One is the door latches. So right here, this is a latch right here. The 2375 uses a magnetic system. This one uses this little clip so that when you lift the door up, you need to go ahead and clip it in like that. And sometimes, because I've had the 2375 first, I'll forget and I'll just pull this down against that clip. Fortunately, it hasn't broken yet. I'm getting better at remembering. The other thing the 2375 has is the slam hatches. Now, believe it or not, I don't like the slam hatches as much as I like the hatches on this 1995. Much easier to lock. The other thing I like about the 1995 is these locks right here on the 1995. And again, this is a 2015. This is the first time Lance had made this model. I don't have to leave the key in to this spot right here when I want to open and close these. So if we're somewhere where I don't need to lock it, I can just shut it like this. Versus any that had these on the 2375, I had to take the key back out in order to use them. Now, we don't have the big square bumper, like I said, in the back right there for where we put our hose in. So on this one, what we have is a compartment right here where we can go ahead and put that hose in. Now, one of the other things I like better about my 2375, or two things I like better, maybe even three things. One is the track lighting that was LEDs that went around this area. Of course, I've got to give this one a bath. Now the lighting is just right here as a spotlight, which is efficient and serves its purposes. I also had three propane tanks with a spare tank instead of just two. Now this is a smaller RV, and the truth of the matter is we've gone off grid for quite some time and we've never really had the issue with two. So that's not such a big deal. And then I missed the smart jack. This one just has a regular jack. Smart jack was a little nicer with the automatic down feature. And then the batteries that you can see, we've got my AGM batteries here. They were in the slide out compartments. Neither one of them actually, there's great access because you had to seat belt the ones in when they were here. Didn't really love that, but this is a little bit less convenient, I think, just because I got to take those covers off to get to them. But other than that, things are pretty much the same here. Pass through here is the exact same as it was on my 2375 as it is on the 1995, and has this slide out storage that goes both directions, which has been very convenient to use in both of them. So that's a nice feature. Right here you can see stinky hose goes in that way. Here it is on the other side. So here it passes through the front, which has now become the battery compartment. And they switched that, Lance switched that around. And so, like I said, this is one of the first models they did this way, so that's why it's changed. So we walk around the side here. One of the things I like better is that this one did have door latch system installed to hold the door open here. And so I like that. Only one door on this side as opposed to two in the bigger Lance. Now, in the 2375, the two ways of entering were nice. We generally entered through the bedroom area. This way we always enter, it's by the bathroom or the kitchen. And so I think that neither one of them, it's not a huge deal because it's just my wife and I going most of the time. But 2 points of entry were kind of nice if you were in some areas where the ground may have been a little wet, etc. But other than that, not a whole lot of difference. Other things I missed, and I'm sure you can get this on the more current 1995s. Again, this was one of the first ones that Lance had. The jacks here are not power jacks, so you got to turn those. And of course, I carry a 3/4 inch socket with me, as well as my power drill, and that's how I take those down and wind those up. Both in the back and the front, the stabilizer jacks are not automatic or electric. The bedrooms here are identical. This is the bedroom in the 1995 and the 2375. The trim's a little bit different, but other than that, the bedrooms are identical. They both have that stargazer window there. And of course, we, after learning our lesson and getting our 2375 window broken, we learned to contact Auto Weave. It's AUTO space WEAVE in Denver. And we went ahead and got the vinyl cover made for them to protect against rocks. It's a neat thing, but that probably should become standard with that piece. Of course, you've got plenty of closet storage on these and drawer storage there. What we have here is our table that goes in, and so right here would be the bathroom. So the 4 feet difference, essentially, we've lost the bathroom right here, we've lost the rear window and seating area, and we've lost some cabinets right here. Now, again, it's mostly just the two of us, so it's not terribly important. The Norcold refrigerator, I really like the Norcold, seems to work really well, gets things very, very cold very quickly. Then the stove here is an Atwood. I think they might have both been Dometic. I'll have to double check that in the other one. Microwave is a hot point, and I think it was a hot point in both of them. Now, here's what's different about this space. And I've taken the table out so you can see we've just set the table down over there. But in the 2375, the dinette booth only has the two sides, so side here, doesn't have that rear seating area. It's a little easier to get in on this one, but we'll probably change it to the Lagoon table. We do have a Lagoon table that we put in the 2375. Makes it a little easier for us, and then if we're traveling with somebody, if one of our children or somebody decides to come with us, we will go ahead and take that table and put it back in. But actually, we just, a lot of times, just travel with it right there anyway, just in case somebody wants to lay on this. But we found this to be more convenient for us with seating almost like a sectional. We're not sure if we're going to leave it like this or if we're going to remodel it, but it does make seating a little bit more convenient for us. It also gives us an area where if we take our two small dogs with us, where we can put them with their kennels when we leave and keep them in there and keep them safe. Over here, this bigger closet entryway. So you don't have this in the 2375 and the 2375. What you have are shelves that run up along the top here. And so we don't have those shelves. We do have this big kitchen shelf. The kitchen cabinetry here is a little bigger, but like I said, we gave up the shelf that was there. The bathroom in here, you know, I'm indifferent between this one and the 2375. My wife says they function the same, I think they function the same. My wife says this one functions a little bit bigger and better for her. She feels like the sliding doors in the 2375, like she was always bumping into those. But other than that, the bathrooms, I'm indifferent to them. I think they're the same. It's kind of nice to have this storage right here when you walk in, but again, you sacrifice the big window in the back for this one. But having that over here by the bedroom meant most of the time we were coming in through the bedroom versus coming in through the kitchen. So coming in through the kitchen, we keep our shoes and things. The other things is in the wall right here, there's a TV in the 2375. No TV in this lance right there. Only this TV in the bedroom with the big arm that you can swing out and swing away. We watch almost no TV while we're traveling. I can't remember. I think the only time we ever watched TV was when we were stuck in an ice storm in San Antonio, and just to pick up signal to see what was going on to plan the rest of our day. But that's how this is shaped out for us. We do have just one skylight here. There are more skylights. There's an additional skylights in the and one in the bathroom, and in the 2375 there's one in the kitchen, one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom. Here we just have the vent over the bedroom, but a little more compact. But for the two of us, it works well. We were also, you know, we're able to camp places like Grovant Campground in Grand Teton without difficulty in this one. We're able to take this one off grid a little bit easier, although I've had that 2375 pretty far off grid into the Valley of the Gods as well. So they'll both do that. I haven't put a lift on either one of them. I might think about it at some point in time, but I tow with a Toyota Tundra, which is a half-ton truck. And so towing with my Tundra, I prefer to tow safely. And if I raise this up, I think it's going to catch the wind a little bit more, but make me a little bit more nervous. Right now, they both tow flawlessly. I actually like this heating control a little better. It's more traditional, like what you would see at home. monochrome. The one for the 2375 is digital. It's smaller. You have to keep paging through. I just like this one that I can quickly go to cool, quickly go to heat, whatever that might be, and get there. The tanks are a little bit different here. There's, you know, if water pump, water heater, gas, water heater, electric, and then to push the battery there, fresh water, black water, and gray. So they run across this way. This was, we were not the original owners of this. The original owner had put this little guy here, which communicates with the propane tanks to tell you about where you're at on your propane tanks. Myself, I just keep them full. So ultimately, we've decided to keep the 1995 over the 2375. It's a little bit shorter, so it tows just the slightest bit better, but really they tow very, very equivalent. I can't really say one tows better than the other, and the MPGs are arguable, I guess. But the other reason we've kept this one, it's a little bit smaller. It's just the two of us. I do miss the back window back here, like I talked about, but other than that, this one's very convenient for going to state parks, for going off-grid. Just seems to work just a little bit better for just the two of us. And so ultimately we've kept this 1995. I do miss just a little bit the power stabilizer jacks, the 3 propane tanks. Those things were nice to have, but we certainly do just fine with this one. One of the other things I didn't talk about that I should have is right here. Now this storage space here, this is another thing I didn't go over versus the 2375. In the 2375, there's one smaller compartment here, one smaller compartment there. They run lengthwise. In the 1995 here, I have this big wide compartment because of the different shape of the slide out here. So with the 2375, we were able to camp at some fantastic places and have fantastic views out that rear window, like you see on the Florida Gulf Coast here, where we watched a beautiful sunset right out the back of the window. And then we were able to take it to Lone Rock Beach and have a beautiful view of the beach and of Lone Rock as well. But ultimately the 1995 won out because of its functionality. We're able to take it into a slightly smaller area that they sometimes have at state parks. We're able to take it to national parks and camp in a little tighter area, and it does tow just a little bit better than the 2375, although I would say it is very, very marginal. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this review on the 1995 and the comparison to the 2375, and please feel free to comment or ask questions about Lance travel trailers. That's how we all learn more.